So now I'm connected to instance 1, right? Now, let's say I wanted to update my Linux packages. So sudo apt-get update updates the packages. Now, you'll see that what he's trying to do is connect to the Debian libraries, but he can't do it because he doesn't have an external IP address, right? So what we've got to do here is configure a NAT service, right? So again, if we just go here and just type NAT. Oh, sorry. Don't want to do that. I want to go to so we'll just go into Cloud NAT and we'll configure a service. Now, Cloud NAT is a regional service, so I need to set it up in the region. Okay, I also, okay, so basically I set it up for the default network. And the region here is US Central 1, right? Okay, and Cloud Router, I've got to create one. I don't have one already. It's just a requirement for NAT that you have a Cloud Router. You can just do that. And okay, so now we're going to configure our NAT service. And now we can go back and reconnect into that instance without the external IP address. And again, if I try that apt-get update, so you see now there's no problem about connecting to the instance, right? So the Cloud NAT service is a service that grants a temporary external IP address to outgoing connections. Right? Okay, so it enables outgoing connections, but it still blocks incoming connections, right? So it only enables outbound connections. Okay, now the last thing that we're going to talk about before we take a break is monitoring and logging. And I think we've already mentioned the cloud operation services. The two most important are monitoring and logging, right? So we're going to look at these in the lab. So monitoring enables me to monitor different metrics from my Google Cloud resources. So I might want to monitor things like CPU utilization or network utilization or disk operations or some sort of metric for my Google Cloud service. Now I can have charts, I can have alerts, I can have different types of objects, right? So an alert is a notification, right? So if I configure an alert policy, so let's say I want to know if the CPU usage of any of my VMs goes above 75% for 2 minutes or more, right? So that is the condition that I want to alert on. So I can create an alerting policy, and an alerting policy is made up of what is the condition, and how am I going to notify the user, right? So in this case, I'm sending an SMS, but more commonly, I would send an email. So when the alert occurs, this event occurs, the notification will be made, right? So that way, I can get notified of certain conditions that I need to intervene, right? So an alert should be set up when a human definitely needs to get involved. It's not a kind of for your information thing. An alert, if you get an alert on an SMS or whatever, it should require an immediate response. Otherwise, it's just wasting people's time, right? So we can create alert policies in the dashboard. So again, I'll just show you this quickly. So again, if I go into my demo project and I go into monitoring, and you'll see that if I go here to alerts, I've got one alert policy configured at the moment, and you can see it's fired in the past. And again, if I look at that alert policy, you see I've turned it off because I don't want to get too many notifications, but let's just see the policy. So first of all, what is the condition that I'm alerting on? So the condition that I'm alerting on is that whether CPU is over 80% for 5 minutes, right? And so then the question is, okay, how am I notifying? I'm basically going to send a message to Mike's email, and I also have the option of customizing my own message, right? So I can set up as many of these alerts as I like to get notified of important events in the infrastructure. Okay, and again, we can do that. So basically choose a metric, choose a condition, and choose a notification method, right? Okay, now, developers also have the ability to create custom metrics, which are application specific, right? So imagine I'm a developer and I'm working on a gaming application. I might want to build a metric into the game that reports on the number of users who are currently logged into the game. So I can, with that custom metric, if the developer has built that into the application, as an infrastructure person, I can monitor that metric in exactly the same way that I monitor CPU utilization, right? Again, we're not going to do that lab. What we will do is another lab, right? So again, we'll just hang on. Yeah, okay. Well, once you've had a look at alerting, we'll finish off the last bit after that. But let's take the break now, and we'll do a monitoring lab after the break. Thanks.